So I just got finished watching all the E3 conferences that have been happening. I only got late to the Bethesda one because after the Microsoft one, I fell asleep and then I woke up like 7 minutes late. But I don't mind because last year they were late. I don't know if they were late this year, but I came back and I watched it. I watched what I missed. I didn't miss much from that point on, but let's go in order. So the first one that happened Saturday was EA. And EA is not my friend. There's not a lot from EA that actually happened at all, really. They started with football drummers, and I was like, this is literally the entirety of... Like, last year Sony had an orchestra, and this year they have people in football jerseys drumming. Sure, EA. That's literally EA's version of an orchestra. Okay. And then they did sports, and I was like, you know, that's fine. Sports, they're needed. I don't need them. Someone needs to make them. Actually, two people need to make them, because there's no competition when it comes to sports games. And literally, EA needs to step it up, because their sport games don't look good. They visually don't look good, and honestly, we need competition. I hate that they're the only people out there making sports games, because they have the licenses for literally everything. I wish that there was competition, because if there was, then maybe they would try. They don't need to try. So after that, then happened what I care about the most, which is EA Originals. And they only showed one EA original. They didn't even showcase their other EA originals. And I went to their website, and the only EA originals are Unravel, which wasn't even originally an EA original, because it was just, it was just a small experiment where they published an indie game and it sold well. So then they just started to create a program where they publish indie games. That's kind of what you do as a publisher. But EA originals, Fee and Sea of Solitude are not on the website, and I'm like, why not? They're good, visually striking games. Like, these games just aren't like, oh, they're nice looking. These games grab your attention because of the way they look. We don't really know how they play, but visually, but you can show us how they play at a press conference maybe. But no, they don't show anything about either Fee or Sea of Solitude, which is such a shame, because they're really good. But the game they do show is A Way Out, which is a game created by the director of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which I forgot I owned. So I need to play that soon. But I do own it, so I am going to play it. But that's a highly acclaimed game. Super, I hear a lot of praise of that game. So this game is very ambitious, A Way Out. It's, it's co-op, it's split screen. You have two characters, and they both play differently, and they have different personalities. And depending on what you do with one character to the other, you can do the essentially the same task, but with different means by having one character do it than another character. So it's interesting in that way, but also like the way that you can have a cutscene and have the other character still being active. That's really interesting also. And I appreciate so much that this game is forced co-op, that you cannot play this single player, because honestly, not enough devs take risks like that, because that is a risk. It is a true risk. And they did do the smart thing, which is have online play. Because, he did say it was meant for couch co-op, but it is going to have online play. And so many indie devs really miss out on that, because they say it's going to ruin their vision of the game. And it's like, really? It's not. Some people just don't have, people in real life that they can play a game with. If you're going to make an excuse, at least do what you really want to say, and say, it's a lot of hard work. It's more money than we're willing to spend. I don't feel like doing that. That's what you should say, rather than, it's going to ruin my artistic vision. It's like, no, get over yourself. Next. But Anyways, A Way Out is looking fantastic, and I think it's gonna be, and I hope it's gonna be an excellent game. I can't say for sure, but of the EA games that were shown, it is, you know, top tier. And then they did a little bit more, you know. Here's Scorpio. You know, they were on their knees for Microsoft this year. They really, like, you know, they were plugging the Scorpio like high heaven, and then they gave, you know, what would have been a big, you know, lead for them, which is Anthem, to Microsoft's press conference. And it's like, guys, that's your game. It doesn't need to be at Microsoft's conference. People would be excited for it because it's a BioWare game. I really don't understand. Because, you know, we'll talk about it later. But really, that's a mark against them for giving it to Microsoft. As far as grading, you know, I don't really grade them. But as far as it is, it's not a good look to have Anthem at Microsoft when it's your game. I understand it, third parties do it all the time, and, you know, Ubisoft had Assassin's Creed at Microsoft, and we'll get into that later. But this was their big game, and they ruined themselves with it. And then they had more sports, and I literally left. I left the room at one point, and I was like, I'm gonna go get Pop-Tarts and something to drink and just, like, you know, feed my soul. And then I came back, and it was all Star Trek. I wrote Star Trek. I know it's Star Wars, but, you know, I like to make people angry. That game was fucking gorgeous. That's Battlefront 2 is gorgeous. It's so good looking. I just don't care about Star Wars as a franchise. I never have. I watched all 6 movies before the 7th one came out. I don't care. I do not care one bit. And I think it's because when you really think about it, Star Wars is a Western, and I don't like Westerns. It's a Western in space, and I don't like Westerns, so I don't care about that movie at all. So it's just, Star Wars is not a franchise for me. I can appreciate it, and I understand it. I just don't like when people, like, get on me for not liking a franchise. I understand its importance, like, as for movies and for pop culture in general. I understand its importance. I still do not like to watch it. And I'm okay with that. If you're not, then get over yourself. So that was EA, and they had A Way Out. If you're into Star Wars, they also had Star Wars. If you're into sports, they also had sports. But if you're just into fun video games, they had A Way Out. That's the only one. And if you are not a multiplayer person, I'm genuinely not, but this one is like, I would try to force my brother into doing something with me, it would be playing this game. So, I don't know. I can see people watching this conference and not liking a single thing that was shown. And who can blame you? It was EA. Okay, we're going right into Bethesda now. Bethesda VR. Doom and Fallout. Cool. I don't really have much to say on that. It's Doom and Fallout in VR. I have no interest. Also, I just need to say this. With Bethesda, I'm not a big fanboy. I haven't played, I don't think, a single Bethesda game. They're just not my games. I appreciate them, but they're not for me. Anyways, Bethesda VR. Cool. Elder Scrolls Online. I don't care. Paid mods. Here's what I want to talk about. Paid mods. So they're allowing people to charge for their mods. That's amazing. I don't know. Yeah, you want free stuff. You can't always get free stuff, okay? So sometimes people want money for their work, and this is work. So you deal with it, or you just don't have those mods. Most mods are gonna be free. That's just the truth. Most mods are gonna be free. If there's a developer that makes mods, and they're not happy with, charging for their mods, they don't have to, okay? Understand that, learn it well. Okay, moving on. Then they showed a card game. I don't care. And then they showed Skyrim for the Switch. And what a drastic marketing change when Skyrim is on the Switch, because that was the most upbeat, cheery music I've ever heard over a medieval fantasy game. Holy shit, that was such contrast. That was weird. That was weird to see. But like, I liked what I saw. Apparently, from what just visually, from what I can see and what I've been told, it's not like, it's not the like special edition, HD version, or like, it's not the special edition like highest quality version of Skyrim. It's like a weird mixture that's just powerful, like more powerful than the original, but just enough to be like, this game is gonna run 60 and be portable, but it's not gonna look as good as it can if it weren't, So that's what I can see from it. But yes, portable Skyrim, that's a really, people are gonna love that. And Zelda, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild shit. Yeah, people are gonna play that just for that. Dishonored 2, Death of the Outsider. I don't know anything about Dishonored 2, but this game looks cool, or this DLC looks cool. I'm ready for it. I haven't even played Dishonored 1 or 2. I think I own 1, but I haven't played 2, definitely, because I forgot 2 came out. Quake Champions, it looks like Quake. I never played Quake. I didn't have a childhood, basically. And something really funny is that whenever someone lost, because there was a big esports thing, whenever someone lost, they would just like show them huffing and leaning back. And I'm like, why didn't you just like be realistic and show them violently jumping out of their chair and storming away? Like, these people obviously did not watch esports. Evil Within 2, I don't know. My favorite part was that they told us that October has a Friday the 13th. So that's cool. It's ooky spooky, so I'm ready for that. And then Wolfenstein, I didn't play the first one. Well, I played the original back in the day. I didn't play this one. I didn't play this, this incarnation where this is a sequel. I didn't play it, but it looks cool. I like what I saw. I love everything I saw from it. And yeah, that was Bethesda. Bethesda is not a company for me. I just don't, we just don't jive. I liked it well enough. Like, I enjoyed watching it, and I thought the presentation of Bethesda Land was really cool. I did enjoy that. But for me, I don't care about their games. Wolfenstein looks cool. Skyrim on the Switch looks cool. That Dishonored 2 DLC is like really amazing. I just don't care for their games. And can't be easy doing that, but that's how it is. I can't like fault them for having games that they have, because people love their games. People just go crazy for the games. I wish I played Doom. I should have said that earlier. But like, I how do I say this? If you enjoy Bethesda, I hope you enjoyed this, but I don't, because I just don't care for Bethesda. And last up was the best conference on the wall, Devolver Digital. I thought they were pulling our leg when they said that we weren't getting any new titles, that they were literally not dropping anything. They didn't drop a single thing. They didn't tell us shit. And it was the best conference I saw. It was the funniest fucking shit. It was a complete joke. They just ripped E3 apart. It was so what Devolver Digital would do. It was so fucking funny. And I enjoyed every minute of it. It was so good. I loved it. Like, it. They knew what they were fucking doing with this. Like, I wish it was not. I wish it was more publicized. I wish it was like at a different time where like people could actually watch it just in the middle of the day. Like, oh my god, it was so fucking good. It was so funny. It's such a shame I didn't see a lot of people. I saw a lot of Russian people stream it, but I did not see a lot of the regular streamers stream, but Devolver. And I wish they did. I would, like, so many of those people, their reactions would have been so funny, and I bet they regret that now. But it was so good. It was so funny. Like, yeah, I wish they announced games, but I think, either the games or the conference would have overpowered the other, and it was good that they didn't do that, because I didn't want, the games to get overshadowed by how funny it was, or how amazing the games were to overshadow how funny how the conference was. I didn't want any of that. I'm glad what they did. They did what they did because it was also a giant middle finger to E3, like just the way that E3 presents itself. Like, that was amazing. That was so good. That was so funny. Their pre-show thing, I wasn't down for. They didn't really make it clear what it was. Like, I couldn't tell if it was a joke. Like, everyone was obviously improvising, but it wasn't that funny. There was a couple interesting games, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't necessary. Basically, so yeah. But Devolver was funny. If you did not see Devolver, I don't think I said anything like specific, but go watch it. It was really good. All I would say is the main woman that is presenting is the best. She's just so funny. I need to like look up and follow her on Twitter. She was funniest. I want to see her every year at E3 at some, like, in some way, shape, or form, because it was so funny. It was so good. So that was all, you know, the rest of E3 so far. E3, fun time, and I'm a little tired because it is overwhelming. There is so much to get through. But yeah, next we have PC Gaming Show, Ubisoft and Sony, and Nintendo on Tuesday. So there we have it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next update, whatever. I love you. Bye.
I said a couple of months ago that the thing that Machine Games was working on is fucking bananas, so now you know what I mean by fucking bananas. A lady pregnant with twins stabbing a Nazi while a guy is dropping acid is fucking bananas.
I was like, oh, honey, that sounds like my Friday night, honey. Oh, honey. Oh.